G'day everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the YouTube channel. Today I'll be going through my round 16 AFL tips and predictions, as well as going through which tips I got incorrect in round 15. Now, I know it has been a while since I have uploaded a round tipping video. I think the last time was round 11, I could be completely wrong about that. But yeah, as it is coming close to the end of the footy season, I'm being a lot more motivated to get out these tipping videos, and I'm going to try and be very consistent throughout these weeks, final weeks of the season. Now, if you guys do enjoy this video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and of course hit the notification bell so you can be notified when a new video is coming out. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Now, before we get into the tipping, let me quickly go through all the tips that I got incorrect in round 15. In total, I got 4 out of 6 tips correct. So as long as I'm getting more than half of the tips correct, I will be quite happy with it. The first tip I got wrong was Blues v Cats. Now, I did originally have the Blues tipped, but yeah, I eventually conned myself into tipping the Cats, and after they lost by 63 points against the Blues, I was quite disappointed with the outcome. The other tip I got incorrect was Port v Brisbane, and a few people did actually try to get me to tip Brisbane, but I was just confident in the power as it was being played at Adelaide Oval, but they've definitely shown that they are going to be quite a poor side towards the end of the season, Port Adelaide, and yeah, I was quite disappointed with getting that tip wrong. And now to start the tipping, on the Friday, we've got Lions v D's at the Gabba. Now, it is Brisbane's home game, and they did also smash Port Adelaide at their home ground by 79 points last week. The D's, on the other hand, only just got over the line last week against North Melbourne, with the final margin being 3 points. And the last D's win was in round 11 against St Kilda. The Lions have only had 3 wins at the Gabba this year, but the D's, on the other hand, have only won 2 away games this year. So I think as of lately, the Lions have been a better side overall, so I'm going to go the Lions by a total margin of 25 points. Starting off for Saturday, we've got North v Dogs at Marvel Stadium. Even though North have had a good last few weeks, I think it is going to be certain that they will struggle with this game against the Dogs. Last week, North had LDU, Sheasel and Wardloss all starring in the midfield. But I think they're going to struggle a lot this week with them going up against players like Marcus Bontempelli in the midfield and of course Adam Treloar. And this week, coming back from suspension, the Dogs will have Sam Darcy back in their forward line after, some incidents a few weeks back. I think North have been a very poor side overall this year, and although they do play quite well at Marvel, the Dogs do play a lot better at Marvel, so I'm going to go the Dogs by a 38-point margin. Next game, we've got Swans v Freo at the SCG. The Swans have been undefeated since round 3, and even in that loss, they only lost that game by 5 points. Freo have had a poor last few weeks, but they're coming off a 20-point win against the Suns. The Swans have been undefeated at the SCG all year this year, which is why I think it's going to be quite hard for Freo to get the job done at their home turf. The only side that I do see beating the Swans this year at home, and this is only the bias side of me saying this, but I'm going to say the Collingwood Magpies. And with Warner, Gordon and Heaney all starring in the midfield, with them getting 30+ disposals each game, they're going to be quite hard to beat in their midfield. So I think I'm going to have to tip the Swans by quite a high margin. I'm going to go 30 points. Next game, we've got Suns v Pies at People First Stadium. So far, the Suns have been undefeated all year at People First Stadium. The Pies, on the other hand, are coming straight off a bye, and the week before that, pulling off one of the biggest comebacks of the century. The Pies next week will have Jordan Ngoe and Brody Myshak back on their side, and they're 50-50 to have Scott Pendlebury back on their side also, who should make massive impact on their club as they have had mostly VFL players in their side over the past few weeks. The Suns forward line has also been lacking, with Ben King being out with injury, who is also in the Coleman race. And although it is not guaranteed that he will miss this game against the Pies, he missed last week due to injury, so it's kind of 50-50 whether or not he plays. And a little part of me just kind of wants to be funny and tip a draw, but I'm going to have to be serious here and tip the Suns by 9 points. Next game, we've got Crows v Giants at the Adelaide Oval. Just a few rounds ago, both these sides had some losses against some pretty poor sides. The Giants lost to Hawthorn by 6 points at UTAS Stadium, and Adelaide were the second team this season to lose to Richmond, and that was by an 8-point margin. The reason I bring this up is because of the fact that Adelaide played that game at Adelaide Oval, meaning that this could be a side that don't necessarily play too well at their home turf. The Giants do also have a stronger forward line overall, with them having the likes of Jesse Hogan and of course Toby Green. Not only that, but their backline consists of players like Connor Iden and Lockie Ash, who could be able to contest a few marks and stop the players from getting some goals that they should. Overall, the Giants have been playing some really good footy this year. I'm going to have to tip them by 25 points. And the final game of the Saturday, we've got Cats v Bombers at the MCG. Essendon are coming off a 30-point win against the Eagles, and the Cats, on the other hand, are coming off a 63-point shocking loss against the Carlton Blues. Essendon's midfield looks like it could be massive. After last week, they got Sam Draper back in their side, who actually made quite a big impact on their side. And of course, they've got players like Zach Merritt, who are averaging 30+ disposals each game. Last week, the Cats did have Zach Tui, Patrick Dangerfield and Ollie Henry back in their side. And even though the Cats did lose last week, those 3 players did have a solid game overall. And even though I think this game could come down to the final wire, I do have to tip a side to get the job done. So I'm going to have to tip the Cats by 7 points. So for Sunday, I've got Saints v Port at Marvel Stadium. I'm just going to keep this one nice and short. Quite frankly, the Saints are going to be bottom side this year. And even though Port haven't been playing the greatest game of footy over the last few weeks, I think they should get this one done by quite a high margin. I'm going to go Port Adelaide by 40 points. Next game, we've got Tigers v Blues at the MCG. Another one that I should be keeping short and sharp. I mean, quite frankly, the Tigers are competing with North Melbourne to win the wooden spoon. And the Carlton Blues are potentially competing with pretty much everyone in the top 8 currently to win the AFL Grand Final this year. So I feel like I've got to tip the Blues by a higher margin than the last game. I'm going to go the Blues by 63 points. And the final game of the round, we've got Eagles v Hawks at Optus Stadium. And unlike the last 2 games, I'm going to keep this one a little bit longer, and I think this one should be quite a close game. And although the Hawks have been a better side this year than the Eagles only wins this year have been at Optus Stadium. The Eagles are coming off a 30-point loss against the Essendon Bombers, and the Hawks, on the other hand, are coming off a bye. The Eagles have got Jake Waterman, who's averaging 3 goals a game, and Liam Duggan, who is averaging 23 disposals per game. And although that doesn't sound like a lot, it's a lot more than any of the Hawks players. And even though I do think this game could be quite a close contest, I've got to tip a team, and I'm going to tip the Hawks to get the job done by 12 points. And that just about wraps up this round of tipping. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and of course, as always, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when a new video is coming out. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.